Hello peoples and welcome to a tutorial. So today I'm going to show you guys exactly step by step how I make my saxophone covers so that you can possibly try it for yourself, or you can apply some knowledge that I might have into what you do. And yeah, you need some sort of a computer because that's where you're going to have all the recordings and stuff. Need a microphone, usually. You can use a built-in microphone on your phone or camera, but it's not going to be that good. If you guys need a microphone still, there is a deal in the description to get this microphone, the TONOR BM-700, and you can get it a little cheaper. It's only 30 bucks to get the microphone, the stand. I've talked about it in the last video, but it's a great deal, and you can get it even cheaper if you use the code in the description. So I highly recommend that. And I'm only going to be doing this tutorial using that microphone and what came in the box. But anyways, let's get into step one.
Alright guys, so the first step that I take in making my sax covers is getting the song all ready. And then I'm going to practice it. So first, I'm going to go to my web browser. I personally use Google Chrome, if anybody was wondering. And we're going to go to YouTube. I usually just go to my dashboard. Got all these presets, and the song that I'm going to use as the example, and I guess it'll be the next cover, is Feel It Coming by The Weeknd. So we found our song. Now we're going to open another YouTube tab, and we're going to look for an instrumental. So in this case, I'm going to do Feel It Coming, The Weeknd instrumental. And or you can search for karaoke, but I usually just type instrumental. Alright, so I'm not sure if this will work actually. So the next step we're going to do is download these and toss them into our audio editor. The audio editor I use is Audacity. It's a free program. I highly recommend it. Very good, especially if you're just starting out. So let's go ahead and put that on the right side, dish on the left side. And we're gonna download these. I use YouTube to MP3. Alright, so once I have them downloaded, I'm just gonna toss them in here. All you gotta do is click and drag them. So now that I have that, I'm going to zoom in with this zoom in button, and I'm gonna line them up. They do have a different sound, so there's a chance that they might. So one tip I have, these are your tools right here. You always start on this tool, and that's the selection tool, and you can that's where you can make it start. So now if I hit space, it'll play from that spot. You can use that to click at the start of this, zoom in even further, and then you can click to this tool to move this second one and get a better lineup on it. Alright. So now we're going to play a little bit and see if it is in time. A lot of the time I will mute and solo the lyric track, the one with the actual words, just to make sure that, you know, it fits. So that fits perfectly. Now I'm gonna skip towards near the end to see if it stays consistent. Sounds good. Alright, so now that we know we have an instrumental that matches the actual song, usually what I do is drag this area right up here just to make it a bit smaller. And then what I'm going to do is mute and solo this. And then the next step is
Get out the old sax. now I got my sax together, making sure my reed is nice and moist. I'm gonna listen through the song. Alright, now my reed is on. It should be nice and ready to play. And I'm just gonna warm up. And usually what I do when I warm up is I'll either play with a song. Occasionally I'll do scales, but not, no. Usually I just mess around, so. Alright, and now that I've played a whole bunch, I'm going to turn my speakers up and I'm just going to jam to the song. Now, when you're learning a new song, and this is by ear, by the way, I'm not using sheet music. Probably should have mentioned that earlier, but it's not that hard. You can do it. Basically, all I really do is just listen to the song. I always get myself familiar with the song beforehand. So I listened to it in the shower this morning, and I think I'm ready to learn it. All you gotta do is play the song, and then just try to match the notes. Get yourself, once you get some of the notes familiar, repeat sections until you get it all good, and just keep doing that until you can play the whole thing through with the track. And I'm doing this with the track that has the words, so I get to hear the words as I'm playing. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Now sometimes when I'm playing, I'm like, I can't really tell for sure if I'm hitting the right notes sometimes. That usually is a good, that most of the time means that you should tune. So I don't have a tuner. Big surprise. I usually just use the web. So I just search concert B flat pitch, and generally there's just a video like this. So I'm sharp. Alright, good. Alright, so now I'm in tune. I'm still learning the song. I still have a lot to learn in it, and just gonna keep practicing. It's a big part of it. Alright, so usually it takes me a good up to like a half hour to learn a song, good enough to play it with the actual song. But a good test, it's been like 5 minutes for me, but I'm gonna test myself and play to the instrumental. So what we did earlier is we muted the music that has the actual words and put it on solo. So that was all we would hear. Now we just uncheck solo. So now all we hear is the instrumental. And I'm gonna try to play it. I keep talking into this mic, it's not on. Alright, so that was kind of rocky. There was parts that I just didn't know, so gotta keep practicing. Okay, so now I think I know the song well enough, so let's get started and get ready to record the cover. This pop filter didn't come with the toner, so we're not going to use it. This is just my old setup with just the new mic, the toner mic. So I'm just going to take this off. And let's get the toner set up. Okay, so now it's all secured. I'm not touching it at all. And this just screws right in. Screw it right in there. You screw it, it won't tighten, but that's because it's got this little adapter thing. So this will be able to spin as much as you need it, and it won't loosen it or anything. So that's always fun. So I'm just gonna stick this in here. And the toner logo is what you want on the front. And you know, every microphone has their own front. If you're not sure where the front is, I recommend just starting a recording with it and turning it around until you hear where the front is. We could use the windscreen, but I'm gonna go without it just so it looks more flashy. And then we've got the XLR cable and the USB sound card. Alright, so this is my point of view. The XLR cable, if you've never used one before, has this button to release and that little clip. See that clip right there? You want that clip to line up on the microphone's front where that little hole is. This is the front of the microphone, and you want to push it into that little hole. Like so. And I usually wind this around my arm. My microphone arm, that's what I call the stand. It's a pretty common name for it. I don't have it on the most stable structure, so I'm gonna be careful with it. Alright, so now our mic is on the stand, and we're left with this. This is gonna plug, okay, one-handed. There's a Wii and a gamepad. This is gonna plug into the XLR, or into the sound card. There we go. So we want it to go into the yellow. As you can see, there's a microphone symbol right there, and then the headphone symbol. We want to plug it into the yellow because that's the microphone. So here's my PC. I'm gonna plug this into one of the USB slots. And you can see the light turned on it. So when the light turns on, that's all you need. Okay, so now I'm in Audacity here, and what I'm gonna do is, since I just plugged in my microphone, it's not gonna show up here. If you see right up here, we have our microphone, and it's not showing up as an option here. So what we're gonna have to do is save and exit. So I'm gonna save the project. Alright, so I saved the project and exited out. So now what I'm gonna do is look for it and reopen it. Thank you, Audacity. And then if we go up here in the microphone setting, we should see microphone USB PNP sound device. And that is the correct microphone. I usually have my microphone input volume at around 30 for the saxophone. It depends on how loud your instrument is, how you'll have to adjust this, but I'll show you why and when you should adjust it later. Alright, so now our microphone is set up. I'm gonna use the pop filter because why not? Makes it look professional. And now we would theoretically be ready to record the cover. Alright, so now I'm gonna plug in my headphones, because if you don't have headphones, everyone's gonna hear the music that you're listening to while you're playing. It's not gonna sound so good. So make sure you have headphones. Any headphones, it doesn't matter. Like, it could be a $5 earbud you just stick in, and it's totally cool as long as only you can hear it. Okay, so now I'm going to do a test recording. Alright, so that sounded great. I don't think I have to adjust it anymore. I was about a foot away from the microphone, and the microphone input is on 30, so seems good. Usually I would end up doing a whole lot of back and forth to make sure I'm in the shot, do a test recording to make sure it's kidding me, but I think I'm just gonna go with how the camera is, YOLO, and let's get into this. Alright, so over in Audacity here, usually what I do is make sure there's a lot of room. In my case, I already made a bunch of room here, so I am good. And I made sure that the track that has the words is soloed. That way when I play it, I can hear it. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a test recording. Alright, now let's see how it sounds. I made sure to play through each part. I did like the pre-chorus, the bridge, and the chorus. I actually don't know what they're called. But I made sure I played each like different part to make sure if any of them were too loud that I had to adjust. Alright, I actually brought down the input volume of the microphone to 29 instead of 30. So, alright, so next what I'm going to do is make sure that the camera was in the good position and see if I need to change it. Alright, so I actually made my mic higher, pointed it down a little bit, and adjusted the camera a lot. I was actually fully cut off, like here up. So, you live and you learn. That's why you do the test. But anyways, I think I'm ready to do the recording. I just wanted to mention, if there's anything that you have questions on, make sure you let me know in the comments. I'm sure I've missed a bunch of steps that you guys might be confused on, but there's still a lot more. But yeah, let me know if I forgot anything or if you have any questions or concerns. But I'm gonna do the cover now. Alright, so as you saw there, after I finished, I'm just going to go with it. I know I made some mistakes, but this is mostly for the test, but we'll So as you can see, I left a lot of space at the end. So what we're going to do is unsolo the voice track. And you can hear that noise. What I'm going to do is select that little piece at the end.
where I was completely still and quiet. And we go to Effect, Noise Removal, and hit Get Noise Profile. Now we're going to select that whole track that we just played. Effect, Noise Removal, OK. And what that's going to do is take away any noise that matches what we selected originally. So now, it'll be nice and quiet. Alright, so that sounds good. So now that we've finished doing the main sax part, I'm going to get my chair back. Alright guys, so now we have our main track. I'm going to go through all the steps I take in doing my covers and how I edit and manipulate the audio. I usually don't do too much, but I'll make it sound nice. So first off, what I do is I'm going to make a copy of all this. So what I did is selected it all by double clicking. Control C, click down here, Control V, or Command V if you're on a Mac. I used to mess with the Macs, so I know what it is. Alright, so now I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to click right there on that butt. I'm going to use D to switch through these tools. You can, if every time you hit D, it switches to the next one. That's what I usually do. So I hit it 4 times to get to the time shift, and I'm going to slide it over. Because sometimes when you copy it, it isn't at the right spot for whatever reason. Alright, so now I'm going to hit D twice to go back to the regular selection tool. And I'm going to hit this button with the magnifying glass to make it back here. Alright, so now I'm just going to adjust these so they're not too big, obscuring my vision. So now I have a copy, and we're going to make another copy. So, do the same thing. You can also hold Control and then use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in, and then hold Shift and the mouse scroll wheel to move it, or to scroll sideways. Usually it's kind of off though. So they're all matched now. So now we have 3 copies of it. What I usually do is keep one of them, the original. Usually I do the middle one. So that one's just gonna, I'm not gonna change anything, but I'm gonna put it at negative 10 decibels. So it's a little bit quieter. Okay, so next what I do is take the top one, and this is gonna be our reverb effect. So we're gonna go to Effects after selecting it. Find reverb. Go ahead and copy my settings if you want to just do it how I do it, but I just messed around until I found a good one. I used some presets, loaded them. You can use preview to listen to it before you hit OK, but this is what I usually use. And that's going to give us a nice reverb sound. And then for the last one, this is something I started doing recently, and I use delay near the bottom there. Go ahead and copy these settings if you want the same as me, but it doesn't matter too much. You don't even have to use this. It's just something I do, and I make it negative 20, so you don't even really hear it. Alright guys, and now that we've gotten the music all mixed, we've done our little effects and stuff, that's pretty much all we need to do. So if that's all you want to do, that's fine. Sometimes I'll add backing parts, like secondary parts. I might do that later, but I don't think that, you basically just do the same thing. But usually I don't record a video for it. I just record it right here and there. But yeah, so we're good with this. We're going to go up to the file and export this. I'll just name it Feel It Come in Sax in all caps. And then I'm going to put it in my sax covers. Look at all these folders. Feel It Coming. Put it right there.
All right. I'm gonna exit out of this, save it just in case. So now we have this folder with our audio. So now we need to put from our video camera or our phone, whatever you recorded the video with, you need to put that file into here. All right, guys. Now we've got the song, we've got the video. I redid it just so you guys know I wasn't too happy with it, so I redid it. But I did all the same stuff. I added background tracks, just the basic stuff. So I have Vegas Pro 14. It's no longer Sony, so kind of just dropped that. That's what I have to edit. That's one thing. I think Windows Movie Maker is good enough. All you need to do is line up the audio and the video. We're gonna make a new project. And if you're on a Mac, even iMovie works good too. iMovie HD is what I used to use when I edited on a Mac. So I'm just gonna throw in the video here. I'm gonna make it match the resolution and stuff. Alright, so now all I gotta do is once it builds the peaks. Alright, so we see all these peaks. This is where I started and then restarted. So we're gonna line this up here and find where this goes in. As you can see, my phone, which is what I recorded that with, is not the best when it comes to audio. So what I like to do sometimes is just listen to the audio here and find so that's where I come in. I'm gonna split it there with S, so that allows me to see where that point is, and then just put it right there. And alright, it looks like the video is a little late. Alright, so now it looks matched. So I'm gonna get rid of all of that beforehand stuff. Grab all of it, move it over. Yeah, if you guys have any questions on this sort of stuff, I'm sure I'm going fairly fast if you're trying to match. Let me know in the comments. So I'm gonna just fade it a little bit there. Love me my fades. So I'm gonna go over here and make sure it's still. Alright, and then for the ending, we're just gonna cut that out, drag it down, and the classic fade at the end. Gonna end it right there. Curses me, stop walking in the shot. Perfect. Alright, so that's all done, and then just render that and upload it. That's how it's done. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm sure there's so much that you guys are wondering and so much that I left out. So just let me know. That's kind of a gist of how I do it. So yeah, let me know any questions you have in the comments. Thank you guys. We just hit 12,000 subscribers, by the way. So that's really freaking awesome. So yeah, thanks guys, and we'll see you later. Peace out.